is really the earliest they're going to get started. Now, here's one other problem with what Cuban is saying. Remember, all the facilities are closed right now. So you have players who aren't able to work out not only at their facilities, but they can't even go to a local gym, a Lifetime Fitness or somewhere, and get a workout in. So you can't just throw guys right back into games because they're going to be out of shape, and that's when you increase the opportunities for them to get injured. So the fact that the facilities are now shut, if that remains for a little while longer, there's no way. I don't think there's any way anyway that they can start in mid-May. I think he's being overly optimistic.
If you just went straight to a playoff, let's be honest about this. Everything's been established. Are we really going to play another 17 regular season games to get the Wizards or Blazers in? If you just said, just like LeBron's first title in Miami, it was a strike-shortened year. Nobody cares. We don't talk about that. If you just said, it's been established. We know who's good. We know who's not. And went right to the playoffs, you could absolutely start in mid to almost late June, and that's 3 months from now. Why not just do that?
I felt the same exact way up until, again, a week or week and a half ago when they locked down the facility. You're right. They played on average 65 games for each team. We know who the best 8 are in each conference. If you haven't established yourself as a playoff team yet, then tough. I get that, but here's the problem. You're going to have guys off 60 to 80 days, okay, without being able to get in NBA shape. So, number one, if you throw them right into the playoffs, the quality of play is going to be poor. And when your most important games are on the line, you want teams to be close to their best, if not at their best. Secondly, as I said, you're going to increase the chances of guys getting injured if you just throw them right into the playoffs. I think, Colin, they're going to have to play like a 5 or 6 game regular season just to get guys back in NBA shape. Because if you don't get them in NBA shape and you throw them in there, God forbid some of your stars get injured. Like, let's say if a James Harden, because he's not in NBA shape, got injured in the playoffs, and an injury that might keep him out for next season. So you run the risk of not only messing up this season, but next season as well if you just throw these guys right into the playoffs and they're not in shape. So I think for those reasons, plus the owners really want to play at least 70 games because that's the contract they have with their regional networks where they can get the TV money. They always promise them 70 games. So there's a number of reasons for the NBA to play 5, 6, 7 regular season games before they restart the playoffs.
We know LeBron has influence with Adam Silver. He got a longer break in the All-Star game, less back-to-backs. I don't think LeBron wants to throw this season away. And this Laker roster is not getting younger. It's not a lot of free agents on the market. And I don't say this. I would totally understand LeBron saying, hey, Adam, let's try to get this puppy. Let's not throw this season out. And I don't have any problem with that because I do think we can get it in. What do you make of the Lakers spot where they're old? They got some brittle players. This is not a year you want to just throw away.
No, Colin, you hit it on the money. And Rob Parker and I talked about this last night on our radio show. Of all the players that are hurt by, and all the players want to play, so they're all hurt by this. No one is hurt more than LeBron James. Because he's not getting any younger. And people want to look at, he's only 35, 36 next year. No, don't look at the number of the age. Look at the wear and tear. It's his 17th season. Look, I would assume when LeBron comes back because of how hard he works and, his training and the money he spends on his body, I think next year in his 18th year he'll be very good. But I don't know that for sure. So every year that goes on, history and logic tells us LeBron's going to get a little bit worse. And so he's playing great basketball right now. Danny Green's not getting any younger. Avery Bradley, who has problems staying healthy, who knows what the future holds for him. They are a team where this year is probably LeBron's best chance to win a championship. I won't write him off next year. But there's no question about it. This season is his best opportunity to win a ring. And I said this, Colin, on your couch before. Last year, 2 years ago, when LeBron was considering going to the Lakers. You have to understand, you don't go to the Lakers and make the fans happy just because you got to the second round of the playoffs. LeBron has to come here and win a championship. All of the other Lakers, except for Elgin Baylor, who were on his level, won championships. So LeBron's got to win a ring, and this is probably his best chance to do it.
By the way, your sources, you talked to them. This morning, are they optimistic or pessimistic?
Well, it's funny because initially guys were very optimistic when, they announced a couple weeks ago the season is suspended. I mean, to the point of we'll be back in 3 weeks, we'll be back in 30 days. And then when they shut down the facility, guys got very, doubtful. They really got doubtful and pessimistic about whether or not they're going to be able to really play this season. But what's driving everyone, from players to executives to the league office, is the loss of revenue. And so they're going to do everything they can, Colin, to play this season in some way, shape, or form, because if they don't play the season, they stand to lose, according to reports, $1 billion plus. So they all want to play, even if it means playing into September. So while guys are a little pessimistic, they do feel like, look, we got to play this season. We have got to play this season because there's too much money to be lost if we don't.
Odd Couple, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, Fox Sports Radio, Absolute Riot, 7 to 10 Pacific, p.m. Eastern. Good stuff, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, on Fox Sports Radio and iHeartRadio. Thanks for stopping by today, bud.
Thanks, man. Stay safe.
It's interesting. I don't think you lack empathy or compassion wanting to play. To me, we're late March, April, May, June. Can you start the playoffs by late June? Wrap them up by August 7th. 2 days for the draft, 7 days for free agency, Labor Day weekend. Football, take it away. I think it works. I think the key is you do camp in about 10 weeks, then you do about 2 weeks of camp. Let's say 3 months from today. 3 months from today, the playoffs begin in earnest. And then if you have to play the first couple of rounds with no fans, you do it. Tighten up the camera angle, play. God, networks can pump in fake crowd. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is you play the games. But I do think there are some signs with corona virus. I think you have really good leadership in California and Washington State and New York City. Those are some hot spots. I do see a little light at the end of the tunnel economically. I don't know. It's obviously a very fluid story. Jordan Palmer, brother of Carson, just an unbelievable NFL quarterback guru. He works with all these guys. Joining us next hour, loaded as well, The Herd.